start with 49. Oops, I forgot the page number. It's 5. Okay, so we are given the second derivative of a function. We're asked to find the antiderivative. We're asked to find f of x. And they're giving us two pieces of information. We'll see how we use those. Since it's the second derivative, I cannot jump to the function. I have to go through the first derivative first. Not a problem. So 4x plus 6x squared over 2 plus 24x to the third over 3 plus a constant c. So let's stop for a moment and look at this and see if it's clear. Is it clear? 4x prime is this. When I differentiate this, I get x times 6. When I differentiate this, I get x squared times 24x squared. When I differentiate this, I get 0. Is everyone in agreement with this? Is that a yes or a no? Is anyone with me? You're muted.
Yes.
Okay. I will clean it up a little bit. So f prime of x equals 4x plus 3x squared plus 8x cubed plus a constant c. Now, I am ready to move on to the function. And I have 4x squared over 2, oops, plus 3x to the third over 3, plus 8x to the fourth over 4, plus cx, and plus d. Again, when I differentiate this, I get x. When I differentiate this, I get x squared. When I differentiate this, I get x cubed. When I differentiate this, I get c. When I differentiate this, I get 0. Yes, I will clean it up a little bit. So 2x squared, and then plus x cubed, and plus 2x to the fourth, plus cx plus d. Because I have two unknowns, that's the reason why I'm given two pieces of information. So the function is 3 when x is 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, d, which is very clear. D is 3. The function, I will write the function one more time. 2x squared plus x cubed plus 2x to the fourth plus cx and plus 3. And now I will use the second piece of information. It says the function is 10 when x is 1. 2 plus 2, 4, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, plus c, c times 1. So then c must be 2. 10 minus 8. So now I have the entire function, which is f of x equals 2x squared plus x cubed plus 2x to the fourth plus 2x and plus 3. There is no other function whose second derivative is this and fulfills the given conditions. This is the only one. We cannot find another. This is it. Any questions on this? Any questions? Okay, I would like us to move on to some situations with a particle is moving with a given data, either velocity or acceleration. Find the position. Position means s, the function, the distance function, the position of the particle. So let's choose. The more comprehensive one is when the acceleration is given, of course, but we can look at both.
$68.
68?
Yeah.
Perfect. 68. Let me move on to page 6. And 68. And we have a of t equals 3 cosine t minus 2 sine t. They're giving us that s of 0 is 0 and v of 0 is 4. Awesome. Perfect pick. So they're asking us to find s of t. The distance or position function. This is the question. This is what we're asked to find. If I'm given the acceleration, I cannot jump to the distance. I have to go through the velocity. Slowly but surely, you should always ask yourselves this question. Which function prime is cosine t? Again, we are not differentiating cosine. We're asking ourselves which function prime is cosine.
Sine.
Very good. Minus 2. Now, which function prime is sine t? Or if you want, you can incorporate the negative, but I think it's better to not to. Just copy negative 2. Which function prime is sine t?
Negative cosine.
Negative cosine t plus. Which function prime is 0? And now let's clean it up a little bit. So v of t, 3 sine t plus 2 cosine t plus a constant c. Stop, because now we do have a condition for the velocity. The condition says the velocity is 4 when t, I don't know if it's time, can be anything, when t is 0. Okay, fine. So 4 equals 3 sine 0 plus 2 cosine 0 plus a constant c. How much is sine 0?
Zero.
Thank you. How much is cosine 0?
1.
Perfect. So then we have 4 equals 2 plus c. Obviously, c must be 2. I have to go back and replace it. At this point, now, I have to. So v of t equals 3 sine t plus 2 cosine t plus 2. So I determine fully, completely, the unique function that represents the velocity. Now I'm ready to continue with the distance or position function. Good. Careful again. Which function prime is sine t?
Cosine.
Yes, but negative. When we differentiate cosine t, we get negative sine t. With minus in front, we get positive. Plus 2. Which function prime is cosine t? Anyone? Sine t prime is cosine. Plus, which function prime is 2?
T.
Very good. I'm not going to use c. I already used c. I have no choice. If you want to use c1, and then this will be c2. That's another option. I prefer d. It doesn't matter. Again, feel free to use c1, and then when we get here to use c2, but they have to be different letters. Okay. I do have a condition that says s of 0 is 0, and this will enable us to find d. S of 0 is 0, so negative 3 cosine 0 plus 2 sine 0 plus 2 times 0 plus d. We already discussed that these are 0. This will be 1 with negative 3, so 0 equals negative 3 plus d. I move negative 3, so d equals 3. And now I do have the complete function, which is the unique distance function. We were given the acceleration, and we worked our way backwards to the function. So this is negative 3 cosine t plus 2 sine t plus 2t plus 3. This is the only distance or position function whose acceleration is this and fulfills the given conditions. S of 0 is 0 and V of 0 is 4. There is no other distance function. Any questions here? Any questions? Okay, can we continue? Did we have enough of the anti-differentiation? Can we continue with chapter 5? Is that a yes? Is that a no?
Can we do number 77?
Yes. The combination is the marginal cost. Okay, we have to discuss what marginal cost is. Okay, it's so let me just discuss it right now. So marginal cost is the derivative function. So that's another way of saying the derivative of the cost. So that's, I'm on page 7. So marginal cost is C prime of x. And this was 77, I think you said, yes. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen again. Estimated the marginal cost in, okay, of reducing x items is, so C prime of x equals 1.92 minus 0.002x. If the cost of producing one item is, so 1 comma 562, that's the point given to us, find the cost of producing 100 items. Okay, but we have to find the cost function first. So I cannot find the cost of producing 100 items before I find the cost function. Perfect, awesome, very good pick. So I'm given the marginal cost, which is the derivative. So finding the cost is no biggie. 1.92x minus 0.002x squared over 2. Because of c, I will never use c as the constant. I will use any other letter. So I will clean it up a little bit by simplifying. So c of x equals 1.92x minus 0.001x squared plus d. And we are given this point, which means the cost is 562 when x is 1. So 1.92 minus 0.001 and plus d. I have to find d because the problem is asking us to find this. I can't find this before I find d because I have to have the function, and I don't have the function yet. But it's a piece of cake. So let's check. Are these is x? I just want to make sure because it looks a little bit. These numbers are so small versus that. So just I want to see estimate the marginal cost in dollars per item of producing x items. Okay, so x is x item. Oh, that's fine. I just want to make sure if the cost of producing one item is this. Fine. Okay, great. So in order to find d, I have to subtract 192 and add this. And that will give us our d. And lazy people, use a calculator. 562 minus 1.92, but plus 0.001. Okay, I got 560.081. So d equals 560.081. Fine. Okay, and then our cost function, 1.92x minus 0.001x squared and plus 560.8081. And now all I have to do is find c of 100. When I multiply this by 100, I get 192 minus 0.001. When I multiply, so 100 squared has 4 zeros. Yes, and plus 560.081. So This was with 2 zeros. Yes, I just making sure that I'm not, so this was okay. Good. So let's see what this number is. So what happens here is I move 4 digits, so it's going to be minus 10. So 192 plus 560.081 and minus 10. Okay, I got 742.081. Which the question is, we always have to ask ourselves, does it make sense? One item costs 562. How can 100 items cost this? So obviously I lost something somewhere. It doesn't make sense to me. 1.92. Are these correct? 1.92.
That's the answer the book has actually.
But
742.
okay, but I'm not happy with the answer. I understand. but so let's discuss this. It's
It kind of makes sense to me that it'd be more expensive to make less items, because if you're making something
because
in bulk,
you're okay. So I see what you mean, because this is in bulk. Once you pay for 100, you per item it's going to be more, but this is for 100 units.
Yeah, it's like if a mold of something costs $560,
Okay.
you
Well,
only need one of them.
I'm happy that, but I always have to say, well, does it make sense? Always have to ask myself, does it make sense? Good. Perfect pick. Interesting problem. Are we okay with this, or can we move on to chapter 5?
what question was that again?
This was 77.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we do one more word problem like that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know if they like that, but I don't know if we're going to find the same. You meant with a cost, with a marginal cost? Is that what you meant?
No, I just meant like any other kind of word problem that is kind of like has some, application, some realistic application.
Well, number 80.
Okay, so we have the linear density of a rod of length 1 meter is given by this. Okay, so this is, oh, you said 80. Sorry. Car is traveling at 50 miles per hour when the brakes are fully applied, producing a constant deceleration of 22 feet per, yes, that's the acceleration. Okay, so this is 80. So we are given that A of t equals 22 feet per second squared. It says constant. If it's a constant, the acceleration is just that. It does not depend on anything. It's just a constant. What is the distance traveled before the car comes to a stop? So a car is traveling at 50 miles an hour when the brakes are fully applied. Okay, so we have to think about this point. 50 miles an hour when the brakes are fully applied. So the velocity is 50 miles per hour at time t equals 0. Good. What is the distance traveled by the car before the car comes to a stop? 4. Perfect. Okay. So in order to find the distance, the question is finding the distance. We have to find the velocity. And we are told the velocity at time t equals 0 is 50 miles per hour. So v of t will be 22t plus a constant c. Which function prime is 22? 22t. Which function prime is 0? C. And now I have to find c. So when time is 0, v is 50, so c is 50. So v of t equals 22t plus 50. Now they are asking us to find the distance function. So s of t will be 22t squared over 2 plus 50t. I used c, or you can, let me do one time in this way. It's up to you. Okay, so now they're asking us to find, going back to the problem,